The soldier used a toy car as bait and pushed it to the middle of the road. Then he signaled their teammates to aim their guns at it. As the alarm from the toy car grew louder and louder, everyone became extremely tense, as if they all sensed the coming danger. Soon the alarm attracted a large number of monsters. They crawled extremely fast and instantly surrounded the dozen soldiers tightly. Although they had prepared in advance, the soldiers were still very scared. Several new recruits were frightened to tears on the spot. Fortunately, the captain steadied his emotions. He immediately led his team to counterattack. The moment the guns fired, the soldiers were no longer as fearful as before. Instead, each of them fought like a war god possessed. Their marksmanship extremely accurate, killing countless monsters. Even so, they still had no chance of winning, because under the intensive firepower, bullets were being consumed very quickly. But there were still many monsters left. The remaining bullets could at most let them hold out for another 10 minutes. But right at this moment, the monsters suddenly withdrew from the battlefield. However, the soldiers still didn't dare to let down their guard. They believed this was a trick by the monsters. Sure enough, something terrible happened soon after. A monster charged at the crowd like mad, moving more than 10 times faster than the previous ones. No matter how dense the bullets were, they couldn't hit it. The soldiers had to dodge quickly. Once touched by the monster, they would be pierced through the body by its sharp tentacles. Fortunately, the monster had a poor sense of direction and accidentally burrowed into a car while chasing the soldiers. The captain took the opportunity to climb onto the roof of the car and shot it dead with his gun. But before they could catch their breath, a soldier suddenly discovered on the radar that a large group of monsters was moving toward them at high speed. Because there were very few bullets left, the soldiers simply couldn't engage in direct combat again. To eliminate these monsters, the captain led the soldiers to a nearby building. Then they planted bombs on every floor, planning to blow them all up when the monsters attacked. To lure the monsters over faster, they turned the building's broadcast volume to maximum and placed several extra-large speakers at the bottom of the building. They even deliberately smashed cars in the parking lot to make them emit loud alarms. Sure enough, lured by the various sounds, the monsters soon arrived near the building. But the number of monsters far exceeded the soldiers' expectations. A giant monster was seen lying on a signal tower, using a special language to summon all the monsters in the entire city, probably tens of millions of them. So the bombs they had planted were simply not enough. With no other choice, the captain had to return to the building to continue installing bombs. But there was no time left. When he completed all the preparations and was ready to retreat, the monsters had already crawled into the building and blocked his way out. In despair, the captain made a bold decision. He directly ordered his teammates outside to close the exit on the first floor, blocking the monsters' retreat as well. Then he commanded them to detonate the bombs. Although no one was willing to obey, looking at those monsters that were enough to destroy the entire city, the vice captain still tremblingly placed his hand on the detonator. Finally, after a series of explosions, the captain along with all the monsters were buried in the sea of flames.